I sometimes think it has always been with us, the corruption, that it is the blooming of our hatred, cresting like a flower. Mine could fill every home, every crevice. I could supply a kingdom and its soldiers. I realize now, it is the mighty who are weak, the loud who are afraid. I see her as she hides behind those ballads and banisters, a little girl, behind a blade, behind chivalry, behind a king, a family, a grave. I did not do it for you, but you are welcome nonetheless. Perhaps with his fall, with the last vestige of my duplicity gone, there will be... Knight, find me later in Herwell. I seek your service one final time. King Wilgrim is long gone from this world. The remains of his alliances are all I have left to pursue. The skill and precision of a remnant. You'll learn more when you arrive.
Inside that chest, Knight, the presence of another sigil.
Please, Knight, I feel it. I just have to go where it calls me. If I refuse... The pain will be... Freedom sleeps where the emeralds split the sky. I don't know, but it speaks in her voice, Knight. I can't! Please, help me! What waits for me there besides ashes? Did I not depend on you at Herwell? Did I not plead for... No! Your word. I see now. How little we understand. Meet me at the crumbling basilica, Knight. Oi! There, Knight! The spire burns! Oi! Bring us in quickly! See there? Rations, boat hooks and dock ladders. Bellwethers to hold an exit. Our threat must be inland. And their wounds. Look here. They've been chewed, torn.
All of this. Again. It's the same. It's exactly the same. Was Mentes right? Is there really no changing it?
You don't have to worry about any corrupted getting by us. We're holding the tavern, just like Rory said.
Corrupted caught us off guard. Came swarming out of Melgom's cavern.
But something's different. The way they stumble, the way they crawl. It's...
Cade, Yuka, Palam. I put swords in their hands, told them we could do it. It was like I sipped on one of Tannen's tonics, Knight. Because when they came up the stairs, when the corrupted attacked us, I knew their faces. They were cast in crimson, and I was there, stuck in mud again. I couldn't move. Two groups. One near the top of the spire, and the other near the parish. No clue on Galena, but Lawrence went with Tannen. They're going to blow the aqueduct, seal the corrupted inside Melgom's cavern.
Caught the end of that. I'll clear the way to the entrance of Melgom's cavern. Meet me there when you've done what you can for the survivors.
No, I can. I can handle the survivors. I just need a little time. Go help.
Look who decided to join us. Not until it's safe. Understand? no matter how much they moan. Told you, didn't I? When real trouble came, it'd be us. Whoever it is, just make sure it isn't Yutley, or Finn, or Cody.
Say what you want about the Bellwethers. They bled for us. Oh, it's a big world out there, I know. Lots to get lost in. Clifford, Erlwine, and Kreia have been better. We managed before without you. We can keep at it.
Knight, it is good to see you, but I'm afraid you're too late. Corrupt corpses, a horde of them adorned in the regalia of ancient Starspire. For each that I cut down, 3 more crawl from the dark of the catacombs. I fear it too, I'll admit. Perhaps the corruption from Melgom's temple seeped into the catacombs, contaminating our resting ancestors. We had hoped to bring down the bridge, to trap the corrupted inside. But Tannen has fallen, and with him the means of explosion. Despite the cause, I'm afraid Starspire is lost. No, it is I who must apologize to you. After everything you've done for me, after all that you've accomplished for Starspire, after the Sanctum and through my illness, I was possessed by the ease with which you swing your blade. The image of your Grainwake sailing outward with the full horizon ahead of you. In truth, I thought myself beyond such pettiness. Please, do not tell her I said this, but Galena is right. It is time. Once we are free of this. I never did get a chance to thank your friend Aura for all her efforts during my illness. When you see her, you must thank... To arms! it! Quickly! Before we are overrun! There's no time! Go!
Told them you ought to be closer to the fire. And don't fret. We can wring out those rags and have Hilda bring some fresh water. I came in after, found you out cold. Explosion shook the spire itself. Town. These were filled at one time or another. We had to stop folk bringing in indigo ice. Jolliffe set up a shrine near the parish for the lost. More than I'd like to name, Knight. But Galina's here. Tupi's come from the grotto. Arrived with emergency. He's taken the sigils from you. Said he'd be waiting in the nexus underneath the church.
Such unnecessary devastation. Yes. Corruption will always beget. The corruption has emboldened, dug its vile roots into the very depths of Talimhel itself. The pillar of entry. The way to the pillar is open. Our time to strike is now. We must wake the brilliant ancients, those your kind has slandered as the forsaken gods. Long have they slumbered within the roots of the... At the peak of the Pillar of Entropy is a chamber of resonance, which will allow me to beckon the ancients back from their divine alcoves. Speak quickly. Before it was a spire spewing corruption across Talimhel, it was an eternal spring from which the sea of magic flowed. It is the central point of our world, that which binds all... I have no doubt, Cleansing Knight, but if you are able to stop it, you must...
I've endured the battlefield for so long, hoping Andalax's head would soon decorate my mantle. But maybe I should redirect my focus to finding one closer to home.
Now, Wilgrim, we should not stain such pleasant conversation with threats. As a man of such endurance, pray tell me of the front. Are the rumors true?
That is the fresh-born fire of the Smouldering Range. The Farum have disturbed its slumber, and now they direct its flow. It has consumed entire divisions, boiled my men...
Rather diminutive, isn't it?
I assure...
Yes.
Aura will not serve your purpose.
You promised a god at our fingertips. There's a...
Do you see, Knight? That spirit to which you've aligned yourself. Aura is born of... We must be prepared for the darkness which waits for us within the Pillar of Entropy. The corruption will... A sheen. Yes, I am afraid so, Knight. But now you strike... Once we travel to the Pillar of Entropy, there will be no return. Prepare yourself, and follow only when you are...
We've a final notion to discuss. So, the sage would have you contend with what humanity has wrought. Even constrained Maveth seeks equanimity. War does not grant men power, merely the illusion of it. My mistake was ever indulging. Alchemical. You are the confirmation. She wallows within the bones of a long-fallen settlement. Find her. She must endure.
Like watching a couple.
This is what you get, leaving the gilded cage. But it's better this way. Alone is what you're used to. But I didn't know. People change like the tides, but their fear lingers on the shore. This is how it will always be, a fact of the world. Stop it! What do they close their windows to? What's left after they blow out the candle? It doesn't matter what shape you take or how long you stand beside them. You have your part to play. The shadow. The stain. No! You're lying! You're lying! You know, don't you, in spite of yourself, what festers inside? No, I thought it would be different. I thought it would work. You knew, yet you carried it like a dagger. Maveth cannot be saved. He cannot be purified. Nor can you. It is written. Yet the sands are pocked with your attempts to undo this, with your knowledge. Please, please stop. But how good it feels to hold the whip, the torch. The flames are bright and warm. They drive the darkness away. Their punishment drives the darkness away. No, no! For them it burned for nothing. For them they fell for nothing. But you found pleasure in the flames, in their suffering. You know, don't you, in spite of yourself, to be destructive, to be cruel. That's not true! I was trying to help. I'm still trying! It's not my fault! I'm not him! It's not my fault! Enter and find her if you can. Or leave her and let her sleep in the bed she made. After all she's done, after what's been lost, will you grant pardon or cut the thread? Regardless, there is always a cost. She will receive what is deserved. Is this your will? So be it. Make your attempt at risk to yourself, but know that... You're only a stranger. You don't even know her. What makes you think you'll find... She wants to fade between the waves, to descend into peace, into comfort. You're selfish to deny her that. You're selfish to try and save her. A shame, but there is always a cost. I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you should go home, if there's even a star spire to return to. I never wanted anyone to get hurt, regardless of what those things said. I promise you. But it doesn't matter anymore anyway. None of it does. At least with Maveth, there's connection. There's unity with everyone. What does it matter? What is there for me to lose? Corruption, ruin, destruction. These are what I am, Knight. I'm done denying it. It was fun to pretend, but... Maybe Maveth's right. Maybe there is peace in it. How could he even know? How can you say that after all that's happened here? Don't. Please, just leave it. Leave me alone. It doesn't matter. Go back to Starspire and enjoy the time you have left. Look around you, Knight. Does this look like perfection to you? I'm not his legacy. I'm not a Drojoy. I don't know what I am. I keep searching for something to hold on to, but every time I think I've found it, it slips between my fingers. Me? Why? Why are you telling me this now? Starspire would be fine if I hadn't been involved in the first place. Lawrence would be alive. How many people are gone because of me? How many more are hurt? I don't know. I don't know if I believe you. But I owe you this, at least. It concerns Starspire. Now go, please. I need to think.
Aura, you did not deceive me. The presence of a remnant is like a stream among the sands. You may call me Saldum, but I assume we've already met. A puppet has aided you. A tool which Tupi wields upon the unsuspecting. This pylon is all that remains of my mind. It is an example of what Tupi is capable of should you disobey him. Long have I waited for his influence to decline enough so that I may reach out. I fear he is already made for the Pillar of Entropy. Then the hour is late indeed. Tupi likely told you how your order worked with him to seal away the corruption. That is only a fragment of the tale. Sealing the corruption within the pillar was not chosen out of failure. It was out of necessity. Tupi does not deceive you fully. To purge this world of its corruption, the only avenue is through the Forsaken Gods. But Farum, Hashara, humanity alike, all must be purged from the world in order to restore it. So entwined has the corruption and existence become, one cannot be excised without the other. This was a truth we learned too late. In secret from the sage, I created the bounds which sealed the corruption within the pillar. And it was the remnants at my side who gave of their essence to strengthen them and to scatter the sigils across the sands. You are a remnant knight, and the terms of our union still reside as such. I believe that should you give of yourself, of your essence, the binds around the corruption may be restored, and the sigils may again be scattered. It would come at a great cost to you, but I imagine you already know that. But you may also lean on your allies, Knight. That is a withering fragment of the Pillar of Entropy. In response to Aura's presence here, what was once flaking ash became like hardened steel, but as soon as she departed, its form reverted. Trust in her, Knight. I do not know how, but I believe she will be invaluable to the future of Talimel. What would you like to know? The sigils were augmented by the remnants and myself. Only through such a unity could they again be activated. Tupi understood this and acted accordingly. Tupi managed to pluck me from the pillar at the last moment. My mind was cast into the pylon before you when he learned a rune carver would still be necessary to reactivate the sigils. My shell was used against me, forging the many runic pylons which now scatter his grotto. They are the many links of my chain. While I appreciate your concern, Knight, my flesh is no longer mine to claim. We have been separated too long. A realm of confinement, deep beneath Tupi's grotto. I cannot be sure of it, but I believe she can communicate with the Sea of Magic, the very life force of Talimel itself. But many believe it gone, the first victim of the Night Plague.
If Lawrence chose to remember me like you said, and if you could come back for me despite everything I've done, then goodness can be focused on. It can be valued. I owe it to you both, and to Starspire, to make up for my mistakes. But I owe Maveth as well. If Menta spoke to you of Drojoy, then he must also have spoken to you of Maveth. He's wrong about him. Maveth's actions, no matter how vile, no matter how cruel, are born from a fear similar to my own. He is a child, locked in a room. He suffers a fate worse than any in Talimel. I know. I underestimated his nature. I denied my own. But Maveth doesn't have to be destroyed. Please, he can be rebound. I'll do whatever I can to help with this night, to make up for the suffering I've caused. Sure, It was like finding a small fire in a cave. Everything before was darkness. But then suddenly there was a reprieve. Music, laughter, life. But fire is so easy to... I know they're still whispering from the depths of me. They're taunting me, pointing to the darkness inside. But I'm not what they say I am. Before I escaped, Mentes would bring me books. That's how I learned of the old world, of the vast kingdoms. How I developed a fondness for humanity, for Talimel. In one, there was an image of a Bulsarian girl, strong, proud. It's been so long now. I can't even remember what I looked like before. Mentes may be right. This may just be an imitation. But at least I chose this. At least this shape means something to me. Drojoy, why do you give so much of yourself for Starspire, for Lawrence? Out of everything in this world, Maveth is the closest connection I have, and I've done wrong by him from the beginning. I don't quite understand it, but seldom thinks it's because of the Sea of Magic. It reminds me of what... It's almost like a story, with a childhood, an adolescence, a middle age. There's choice, yes, one direction or the other, each unique, each born from their separation from the others, but they're connected. Each remains a movement of the larger whole. It hurts. I didn't expect it to be painful. Are you ever afraid, Knight? Of endings, I mean. Sometimes I think if I could step outside myself and look at it like this.
A ship which continues to search for storms will soon find themselves drowned, Knight. I fear your kind are in no position to lecture about costs. Snapping the branches which bear them fruit, torching fields and forests until the rivers are choked with ash. What a triumph of wickedness mankind has been! The corruption, their greatest gift. You felt that corruptive presence within the dunes of creation. The disease was not contained. It seeps into the roots and will soon have its hands around the very throats of the ancients. Seldom's actions have led Talimel to a cliff's edge. How many times life has crept up from the recesses of the world? How many times it has put out leaves and flowered? If the root is protected, the tree will thrive again. But this is a world from which we must wake. A dream, not...
However you feel about the corruption, it's as much a part of Talimel as you are. This world isn't a dream. It's real, and its people are real. There's misery and pain, yes, but there's kindness and forgiveness.
And what a vanguard of life you are. Your very presence turns the blossom into sand. You are a poison to this world, a sickness. Knight, I know seldom has told you of your ability to rejuvenate the binds. It did not hold the corruption then, and it will not hold it now. The brilliant ancients must be summoned. The corruption must be excised before the source itself is tainted. If we do not act now, Talimel will be beyond repair.
Knight, if Lawrence could see the good in this world, if he could see goodness in me, then it must be out there. It must be worth saving. Maveth's bonds may be beyond repair, but if we trust each other, I think we can find a way to do this. I think we can still save Starspire.
A troubling decision indeed. I had hoped to conserve my energy for the ritual, but it seems the corruption must even be rooted out from you, Knight. A single soldier before an army? A stone against the raging current? Despite the image, it is a deception. Your struggle poaches what precious strength you have left. Your life is but the blink of an eye to us. The rise and fall of your civilizations are the inhalation and exhalation of breath. You are misguided, child of mine, to believe the will of the source can be challenged. The architect of your fates. You are as the sparks cast from your blade. The cycle must be restored. Resign yourself to perfection. We exist beyond.
I didn't know if you'd return. Tupi, is he... There was a time, just a brief moment, when Maveth was like me. He shared my interest in Talimel. My interest in humanity, even. Together we talked about the world outside ourselves, about who we'd be in a different life. But then Mentes changed him, made Maveth into this thing. Mentes often said his alterations only brought to light what lay below the surface. That such things could not be created, only revealed. But I know...
tread a path of placed stones, a struggle steeped in failure.
Maveth, I know the real you is in there. You were forced to become this thing, shaped into a weapon by Mentes. But I know there's something deeper inside you. Please, you must stop this.
Even here, you dismiss and deny, still clinging to their structures, to their shapes and stories. Nothing has been imposed. You see it, don't you? The emptiness swirling inside. It is the path to overcoming. The path to true freedom. A place without fear.
No, please, don't do this! Knight, quick!
Come. You shall be the first to experience. Equilibrium.
This, all of it. This is an act. You haven't overcome anything, Maveth. You had nowhere else to look. Nothing besides yourself. You've torn a hole in yourself, Maveth. We both have. I'll hold him here. I can bolster the binds, keep him from the ancients. Each makes the world beautiful. A pair of colors to complement pleasure and pain, joy.
There is no...
Knight, the sea of magic is the same here. But grateful to have met you, Knight. Please, tell everyone in Starspire that I'm sorry. Florence, please, Knight. Think of all we've seen. What about your friends? What about your home? No, I can't. I can't let you do this. I can't let you deny the beauty that's still here. Even if that means becoming the very thing you're fighting against. You should feel grateful, Knight. The whole time, through all of this, we were the ones in chains. There is peace here, beauty. Let me show you what freedom feels like. It's beautiful, no matter how broken. If only there was another way. Look at what's in front of you. Hope is still here. So then, this is what it comes to.
It is refreshing to have you on the side of clarity. You must enter the Chamber of...
You tread a path. This is the path to true freedom.
A lifetime ago, I was a sickly child, and often I would we walked until, but soon I intended, but before her death, for a lifetime I've searched for Aurella's grave in Herwell, but she is not here, Knight. I suspect Felmont did what I could not and honored her wish. To think I suspected you a simple grave robber. Thank you, Knight. You have done me more honor than I deserve. Now,